Activation code required. Access granted. Warning. Evacuation sequence activated.
Paranormal bunker. Y'all come on down and join Nikki, Robert, Kayla, and Cole. Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sit with us as we traverse the portals of the universe. Let loose the secrets of the cryptids. Make haste with the truth of conspiracy. And explore the hauntings of our world. And once again, welcome to the S4 Paranormal Bunker.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Friend, it's that time. It's that channel. We are welcome to another episode of the S4 Paranormal Bunker. So, I'm still trying to get Robert on here. Friend, it says he's online everywhere, but for some reason it won't bring him up. So, we'll see if we can get him eventually. Tonight we're going to talk about weather systems. Because for some freaking reason, everything's going shit to shit.
Whoa.
What?
I want a hand basket.
That too.
Yep.
What did the handbasket have to do with shit?
That's an old
It
saying.
puts the lotion on the skin.
Oh.
Or it gets the shit again.
He must have been making talk.
I used to hear that from my grandmother. That's an old saying. It's just something that I've always continued to say, Kayla.
Oh, I know.
I know you're giving me crap.
It's the saying that my, freaking family uses too, so. It's going to hell in a handbasket!
No, so tonight we're going to actually talk about how weather systems can affect cryptid life and how cryptids can also affect weather systems.
Yep.
How you doing tonight, Nikki?
Hurting. I'm here, but I'm hurting.
Friend, for us it has been a very weird week.
Yeah, we had such a fucking I don't even know what the hell happened this week. Half of this week is just gone. And it's Tuesday.
Yeah, but it's been good.
Nope, it's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. Fuck.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I'm sitting here on a show that we only do on Wednesdays saying that it's Tuesday.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Join us every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Might as well throw that little plug in there.
Right on.
God.
You're good at this.
I'm excellent.
So,
sorry, I'm trying to write the date. I got the giggles now. Okay, what the hell were you saying? This is going to be an interesting night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Across the world,
Around
Yeah.
the world.
we have had some weird things been happening. So,
Understatement.
throughout the Ring of Fire, which for those of you who don't know is a
Earthquakes.
geological ring or geographical ring around the Pacific Ocean. For
Marked by what?
volcanoes and fault lines.
Nice.
So
Major fault lines.
here's the thing. Australia has seen 3 major quakes off its coast. Japan has seen 2. And the United States and Canada have been peppered with small mini quakes.
We had one this morning. That makes the 8th mini quake since November of
And
25.
You don't know what day it is. You don't know what time things happen. That was this afternoon.
It was 3:01.
This afternoon.
Yes.
For,
Today. Yes.
Friend.
Today. Jesus.
There's
Yes.
been a lot. There's been a lot.
so, but with all that, we've also had a very strange expansion of winter.
Oh, that's an understatement.
It's like someone paid for the expansion pack on winter weather, and they're an asshole. I don't like that person.
You know what? That's not entirely true. Because they
Okay.
extended.
I will admit they maybe split the cost with their friend. That's probably an expensive expansion pack.
No, but like our winter didn't start until later. It's not that it expanded. It's like it changed months.
Here,
Yeah. But I mean, different parts of ours just like came 2 months later than it was supposed to.
but even areas of Canada further east are getting an extensive amount of snow in a day,
Oh yeah.
and then the next day's 80 degrees.
Yeah. No. It's
Yep.
fucking weird. I'm not saying it's not fucking weird. I'm just saying that like for us in particular, it just didn't start until
We're not the only people on this planet, Kayla.
I'm the only person on my planet.
Wow, that's lonely.
Oh, I gotta see that number.
I'm trying to call Robert in one more time.
Oh, that's funny.
But he hasn't. Nikki, can you try and get in a hold of him quick? Like, try
Yeah,
using
hang on.
Messenger? Because he's not responding to me at all.
I don't like you anymore.
Maybe.
Friends off.
No, I feel bad.
Oh,
What
God,
did I
wait a
do?
minute. What's going on?
Friend.
I can get out of blue. This is interesting. Hang on 1 second. I gotta go off camera.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Friend, so
You son of a-
here's the thing. Throughout this all, there has been a considerable downtick in cryptid movement.
Yeah.
We're not seeing anything. We're not hearing anything. I went through Reddit this morning through subreddit Bigfoot, subreddit what was the other one? Loch Ness. And there hasn't been a new post in a month about a sighting.
That's because they all left planet because they know what's coming.
Are you really going to try and tell me that every race of Bigfoot or Sasquatch or Yeti can leave the planet?
No, but the ones that can did.
But you would think even with some of them that can, we would still have at least a few documented sightings. But there's nothing. The Reddits, like the subreddits, are dead.
Yeah.
Especially on subreddit Bigfoot, there is normally 450 to 500 weekly contributions.
Okay, yeah, but you're telling me if you had the ability to say, screw this, and get the hell off of our planet, that you wouldn't do it?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Okay.
Because right now, human capabilities of getting off planet aren't that great.
Well, I know, but
I'm good.
That's why I said if you had the ability to do it.
We do have the ability to do it.
Okay, never mind.
You have to explain.
What I was saying, I just did. I'm like, if you had the ability to just, like, portal off the planet, like, boom, then go to your new planet, where you have, like, food and shelter and everything already set up, like, and it's a better existence, wouldn't you?
But I gotta ask them what makes it a better existence, because they've been here anyways. Why would they have been here at all?
Yeah, but they can
Since,
jump in
like, at
between.
least the 1940s.
Okay, yes, but if you can jump in between two different places, you would be jumping in between two different places. Okay, it would be just like vacationing in Florida or vacationing in New Mexico or something like that. Okay? You have your solid, stable home here. You have your vacation home here. You jump in between the two of them.
But not everybody does that.
No, and I'm assuming not every Bigfoot does that either. I wouldn't say that they don't for sure because I don't know, but I would assume that they're just like humans as far as they have different, like, travel and non-travel. Like, there's humans that like to travel all over the place. There's other ones that are like, no thanks, I'm gonna stay here. You know.
Yep. Some are nomadic, some are not.
So I would assume, like, okay, if you had a race of, and they are, a race of higher beings, so higher thinking, higher possibility beings, okay, and they had intuitions about the fact that certain things are going to happen or certain things aren't going to happen, okay? If you look back through history, too, there was a bunch of sightings of Bigfoot-like creatures for thousands of years, and then they dwindled to absolutely nothing for a little while. And then it came back as people sighting them.
Or went into hiding.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So,
the other thing.
we have that, if you look through history and through the stories of history, there's one or two here and there sparsely during certain periods, but they're like living next door, like hanging out during other periods. Okay? There's sightings everywhere. There's people, they see them everywhere, and then they don't. And it's usually around some calamity that happens on the planet. So I have a feeling that not seeing Bigfoot for an extensive period of time, not seeing these things for a while, means there's some form of calamity that's probably happening, or some form of change that's happening that they're like, nah, we're gonna red zone that planet for a little while.
Well, that's fucking worrisome.
Yeah, actually, it kind of is, because that's what I was thinking last week.
I do gotta say, though,
Ouch.
I don't believe that would be weather-related then.
Well, I don't know. Sightings went down massively for the, 3 years following. And I looked this up, and obviously, do your own research. Woo! Got that in there. But sightings were at a high peak. Then Mount St. Helens went off. Then sightings took a dip for 3-4 years after that, and then started peaking again.
Here.
Yes, here.
That you got to specify that.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm to specify that is locally in Washington State, Oregon area. We were at a high peak of sightings. Mount St. Helens went off, and we hit a low peak of sightings for like 4 years before we started really having sightings come back again. So regionally, this happens too when something happens to devastate the area that they're living in, or...
Here's the problem with that. When did Mount St. Helens blow?
In the 80s.
May 18th, 1980.
So 1980, before the arrival of the World Wide Web.
Oh,
Yeah.
long before.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with what Kayla's talking about. A lot of the Sasquatches by that mountain or below that mountain got caught. And the ones that were unaware for whatever reason got caught in the basically the mountain coming down. Because from the stories I've heard regarding Sasquatch and regarding, for example, the military, specifically the Army, excuse me, they found Sasquatch bodies. And I'm trying to remember, because that goes back into conversations with the UFOI team that we had in 2018. So let's see, would have been July. Yeah, it would have been July of 2018 for those conversations. 2018.
Well, I'm gonna
July and August.
I'm gonna go back to kind of like the analogy that I was using before, as far as like vacationary home versus stable whatever home. Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as humans, right? If you have like your vacation home, you have your regular home. You go and you visit your vacation home. Well, there was plenty of people. This happens in human existence too, where if the vacationary spot that you normally stay in, or even if your main home, okay, if a disaster happens to make it uninhabitable, there's a lot of people that don't go back for a significant period of time before they have enough money to like redo, or they sell to other people, or they relocate. I think it's the same for them. So if something,
the data I would want to look at is, was there an uptick after that point in other areas like California, Canada, Alaska?
right?
Or even
I didn't
across.
look at the uptake in other areas, but I know the downtake in
Because the
Oregon,
problem is,
Washington,
and that's the
Pacific
thing,
Northwest area.
that is a regional event.
But if this is globally that people are not reporting, then maybe we're on the cusp of some form of global event.
But that's the problem.
Or
The situation isn't the same anymore.
Okay.
Because everything is a global event now.
Well, yeah.
Because of the World Wide Web.
Yeah.
okay, so for example, during that train derailment a couple of years ago on the East Coast, I can't remember where, and it had some kind of chemical reaction. Came off the rails, cloud of something
Northern
or some kind
States.
of chemical. Excuse me?
It was in the northern states.
Yeah, it was in, I can't remember what state it was, but
I
yeah,
wanna
you're right.
say
It was in the,
Illinois, but I don't think that's right.
no, I don't think it's either. But the Sasquatches in that area, all basically went underground. They took cover. And the only way I knew that is I heard, oh, this is going to sound bad, but I heard rumblings. see that. It's psychic energy. It's almost like psychic whispers. I don't know how else to explain it any other way.
Mm-hmm.
But the confirmation for me came when I heard, oh my God, no, Robin Haynes on Spaced Out Radio was talking about that she was getting people, and this was a number of years ago, was talking about the fact that she was getting people asking her if the Sasquatch in the area were okay, and she confirmed that, yeah, they were. So she had done a lot of talking. So when situations do occur, they go into hiding, or they underground usually. Not always, but quite often. And so, yeah, you've got a different nomadic system with them because you've got the Sasquatch clans. Some of them do roam, and some of them don't. And then you've got rogue Sasquatch, and how that comes about. So different ballgame. So you could have a wide range. You don't know, is it the Sasquatch clans? Because do the rogue Sasquatch that are now on their own, without a clan, do they have abilities? Because not all the Sasquatch have abilities. Some are raised without it. Others are very much raised with it. So taught how to use their abilities, and it's a high form of frequency and psychic abilities. And man, you got to really watch out and communicate with some of them because they can knock you on your butt. You need to be standing upright and be completely a healthy person. And their energy is so strong they can knock you out in a fraction of a second with their energy alone, but they choose not to. So there's all different kinds of sides to this to look at.
Well, with that being said, Nikki, I mean,
Yeah.
what's the like, if they have the ability to do things psychically, if they have the ability to do all these things, then they would have the ability to not be seen if they don't want to be.
Yep.
So,
And a lot of them roam around or use their sorry. They have their paths, which is why you see the trees a specific way, or like large trees that have been felled, they've been taken down or uprooted or broken in half. And you see these kind of like teepees with trees with very, thinner tree trunks, and they will be in the shape of these, as we call them, pyramids. I just said it. They'll be in the shape of teepees.
mm-hmm.
And a lot of those kind of things are markers for the Sasquatch, as I understand it. So they can be on a hunting trek or a pack rat.
So I guess what I'm trying to ask then would be, so if they have the ability to not be seen whenever they don't want to be seen, then with the current state of the world, they have to realize that there's been a semi-shift in the way that things are happening, just environmentally along with other things, because they are energy beings. So they would tap into the fact that there's a shift in certain things that have been happening. So maybe they have a system where they're on like high alert. Like, hey, we're at code red and we're gonna go invisible for a while. Like, not, like, physically actually invisible, like, even, they might be able to, I don't know. But
There are certain ones that
if
can,
they
yeah, they
go,
can
like,
create themselves into an orb.
if they say, hey, like, code red, man, and, like, pass it on to all the other, I guess you would call them villages or tribes of Bigfoot, then maybe they're just hiding because they know or they've sensed something. Like, it's that, like,
Right.
flight.
Statistically, though,
Mm-hmm.
it's very improbable that because of everything you guys just said, it's very improbable that we wouldn't have still some sightings. It is statistically improbable.
Yeah, that's a little suspicious that there's not.
Because, like Nikki said, not all of them are trained in their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them have abilities.
Yeah.
We should still be having sightings from the ones that don't.
Yeah, but at the same time,
Yeah.
not all people talk about the fact that they've seen something that they can't explain. Like, you have your group of people that will go and scream to high heavens about the stuff that they've seen and want people to tell them that it's true or it isn't true or whatever. But you have a group of people, like human beings, that if they saw something that was considered different, they might not ever tell anybody.
Okay, but Kayla, tell me the probability of everyone that has seen a Sasquatch in the last month not being one of those people.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I'm just saying that there's other factors in there too.
But it's still a statistical improbability.
It's a statistical improbability, yes, but it's not statistically impossible either.
Well, it gets very complicated, but yet it's not. I don't know how to say it. Just because there's ones with abilities, ones without, and ones with abilities, they don't always use those abilities to where they're seen unless you're dealing with, like, they're walking through a portal and you either see them or you smell them or you sense them, or there are ones that they've got very, very strong abilities and they can create an orb and walk into the orb and travel as energy extremely quickly. It's a mind bender. I mean, even ETs have that ability, but the ETs, as I understand it, they're using it's a tiny ship form of technology. So,
Yeah.
but you got the fact that the Sasquatch can do it naturally. Certain Sasquatch can do it naturally, and can be very fast at things. With their words of life, very, very fast. So I don't know. It's very strange to me that there's hardly any sightings or none at all. I find that extremely unusual.
Because that's the thing.
I've
Like,
heard,
we are just concentrating on Bigfoot right now in this
oh yeah,
conversation.
but you've got Dogman, there's Sasquatch, Dogman, Skinwalkers, Chupacabra, Dugway.
Yeah,
There's all these cryptids, and I'm hearing people talk about them, but it's not current information.
yeah, they're old conversations.
It's all, they're all about, they're conversations about things that happened last year or 5 years ago or even 10 years ago. That's not current information. So that's what's a little concerning to me. So it makes me question a bunch of things.
Which
You don't hear so much about Sasquatch in the middle of the country. I mean, you do, but it's not very often.
No, and there's some places that, like, I do believe that there are a few areas that it's just a case of mistaken identity.
Yeah.
Where there was one sighting 50 years ago and the town climbed onto it and are still riding its coattails.
Yeah, California, somewhere in California, right? Little town.
Well, I was thinking more like Kansas.
Ooh.
There's a few small towns in Kansas that claim to have them. And like not just Kansas, that's horrible to just call out a state like that, but like I mean like anywhere in the Midwest. Friend, like I don't this is where me and my dad get into arguments because I don't see Bigfoot as a plains animal.
Well, it's very, very, very rare that I hear about Sasquatch in the Midwest.
Yeah, like
and like Kansas and Missouri and
it's hard to hide in a wheat field.
although there are mines, there are locations like that they would be drawn to. So it's
yeah, I agree with you there, but
West Coast, East Coast, upper Midwest, some in the lower, and then it goes towards the East Coast.
we do have to admit that most species of Sasquatch, I guess that's the way I'm going to put that, are mountainous creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Forested creatures, let's put it that way. Because even though
in the 1800s, as Native Americans, we had to watch out for the giants. It wasn't just Sasquatch you had to watch out for, or the ETs, you had to watch out for the giants.
And yeah, but
and that's a different subject too.
I could see a giant going into the plains. I mean, who the fuck's going to
Oh yeah, they were.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Friend. So, but like...
And we're talking over 10 feet tall. We're not talking like 9
but like
feet.
you look at the causeway in Scotland, or Ireland. Is it Ireland or Scotland?
It's between.
Is it between? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Friend, you look at that thing, and you look at photos of it, because I've obviously never been there. It's right out in the fucking open. And supposedly they built that.
The giants?
That was...
Didn't they?
The giants.
Yeah.
That were supposed to have built. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Friend. So, like, I very much see them being out in the open because, like, all stories conclude of them...
Well, they supposedly...
just being out there.
Used to live side by side with us, like...
Yeah, but, like, what I'm saying is... when you hear a story about Bigfoot, friend, or a Sasquatch, or a Yeti, it is in a mountainous, forested area. Friend, or swamps. Yeah. But swamps are still forested.
Swamps, yeah, and you're still, that's a different species of cryptid altogether. But yeah, it's along the same lines.
It's like if you hear a story about Chupacabra, they are in desert areas.
Mm-hmm.
Friend, but all of our weather patterns also seem to follow forested areas right now. All of our strange patterns.
Now that's an interesting correlation to me.
Well, because like I have been trying to pay attention to weather news lately, and I have a very good source. His name's Brandon Houck in out of Brooks, Alberta, and he follows world weather. He's a younger guy, but very, very intelligent, very good at what he does. Has loved weather since he was like 5 years old. And yeah, like
The next new weatherman.
well, that's the thing though. He has done weather.com, the Weather Channel,
Oh, wow.
but he prefers to stay in his own small town and do radio weather. So
Whoa.
he just likes weather. And so like I do follow him, and I like the reports he gives. None of his reports have been about the Midwest or the plains of the United States. Like nothing has
That's an
been
unusual
weird
for England.
there.
Yeah. Very strange.
They're having their normal weather pattern right now.
Tornadoes?
Friend, not yet, not anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's over.
Oh, yeah.
For a little while.
My bad.
Friend, they get a bit of a reprieve. Friend. But the entire West Coast has been off.
Mm-hmm.
Friend.
It's just coastal areas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Robert's area.
Yep.
Well, they got moved.
Like cyclone after cyclone.
Yeah.
Well, look at Japan.
Yeah.
They've had nothing but shit weather and earthquakes and everything else that goes with it. Like,
Yeah. The last earthquake, that was
and the
seven
entire
something,
area
and
of
oh my
Japan
God.
is coastal. I mean, it's an island. Like,
yeah. A number of islands.
Mount Fuji's not.
well, and I mean, look at everything that's happened in Hawaii this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, for the last few years, let's be honest.
And
for the
along
last
the
few
coast.
years.
And along the coastline in the water sections off of California, Oregon, and Washington, all the way up into Vancouver.
Maybe
BC.
Poseidon finally got pissed off enough because we keep polluting his shit.
What happened in the middle of the Pacific, Kayla? There was something you said a few days ago to me and your mom.
Super typhoon.
Friend, they had the perfect storm.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I hadn't heard about that.
It was a U.S.-owned island, right?
Chain of islands. It's the God. Here, I'll have to look it up. I can't remember, but yes, it's not just U.S., but
it devastated the entire chain of islands, though. Friend, which is very sad and sucks for the people that live there. I mean, you're already on an island stuck in the middle of the ocean. And to get that kind of thing without immediate aid from anywhere.
Yeah.
Because everything
That's
takes
pretty
time. Friend. So.
Yeah, how many days did it take for them to get to the one island that had a number of years ago, where they had that major earthquake and then a tsunami hit,
Haiti.
and it was a...
Right. Haiti?
No.
No?
well,
I don't think it was Haiti. No, it was a destination location for a lot of people, and everybody went for the hills, and we had all that tsunami footage of people in hotels nearly being wiped out, and
Western Pacific Islands.
You mean the one they made the movie of?
oh, I don't remember some of the movies, but yeah, it was bad. It was really bad.
That was before Haiti.
But they took it took I think it was 3 to 5 days before they got help. If I remember correctly, I remember it as being 3 major days, long days for them before they had any help from any country. The
You mean
devastation
Thailand?
is so bad. There we go.
Okay, so yeah, so they made a movie about that in 2012 called The Impossible. And it was based on a true story of a British family and their three sons, two adults and their three sons vacationing in Thailand who were separated and struggled to survive the devastating 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite movies, like, to watch.
Yeah, it's actually a really good movie.
I do remember that tsunami. I mean, shit, I had just graduated the year before. So, and we had one classmate was there during it.
Sorry. So I got somebody here next to me.
Is it who you talked about before?
No.
Okay.
No, their energy is good. This energy is kind of wonky, and I'm smelling like somebody is eating, like, it smells like salami with tomatoes and something. It's like garlic. It's not garlic. I can't quite define what it is, but it's like, oh my God, that's intense. Got a huge wok of it, and I'm like, okay, I don't have food like that. Free. Sorry, it really caught me off guard.
Huh.
What?
No, that's just weird.
Sorry.
Because Kayla's sitting here eating...
Salami.
Well, that's not salami.
No.
Pepperoni sticks.
No, that's not, it's not.
And you made me automatically think of a bodega.
A bodega.
Like a bodega deli.
Well, that's kind of what it's very pungent of a very specific, it's like two very specific kinds of meat in a sandwich, or they've got cheese with it. It's so fun when I can do this. Yeah, they backed away. It was somebody in Astral. Wow, that was pungent. Sorry.
It's a little weird to me because my aunt is currently in New York.
And
today she visited all the 9/11 memorial and everything that went with it, including one of the most popular bodegas in New York that was devastated by that event. Where everyone inside didn't make it.
Yeah.
Friend. Just a weird thing that kind of connected everything together.
That is a weird thing that connected everything.
Friend.
The awkward lines of connection. They are there.
Mm-hmm. They are. Weirdly enough.
Right?
Yeah, this was a guy. Somebody's getting sweet. With blonde hair and a tan. No, brown hair. No things. Sorry.
It's
I
all
got a
good.
spirit being smart ass. Blonde hair and a tan is a direct quote from a 1970s Rocky Horror. It's from Rocky Horror Picture Show.
What is the quote?
Just the weird little things that you pick up and then you hear spirits make a comment like that. It's like, oh, come on, guys.
Oh, friend. I totally lost where we were.
Yeah, I did too. Sorry.
I thought we were in a bodega.
Yeah, besides the bodega.
We were talking about the super typhoon.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we were talking about the Impossible movie.
Friend. trying to remember why, though.
Well, because some of them can sense it and others can't, and it makes for an interesting thought process on all of this and how
Okay, like,
that's a big deal.
so certain animals, okay, and I'm not saying that Bigfoot is, in my opinion, Bigfoot isn't necessarily like just a regular animal. Okay, that's not what I'm saying, but certain animals can sense things are coming and will
True.
take off before the event happens. Okay, and they have like that almost sixth sense of danger is going to happen, or they can like hear in a different frequency than we can, and when that goes off they're like, oh hey, that means this is gonna happen, you know, like just instinctively. It's been like a trait that's passed down from generation to generation in certain animals that make them know before a disaster is coming. So maybe Bigfoot, maybe certain other cryptids have that innate ability to know, like beforehand, like give themselves their own little warning system of, hey, shit's gonna hit the fan, we need to get out of here for X amount of time and let this blow over.
Which makes me wonder one thing. With how many movies we have based on it, why the fuck have we not concentrated harder on a universal translator for animals?
They actually are. They're using AI now.
Yeah, but like we should be way farther ahead in that, considering
Yeah.
how much we could frickin' learn.
Because humans are assholes, and we think that we are the smartest beings on the planet, and most of the people that are in higher positions or have the ability to actually do something of that nature have a stick up their ass as far as thinking we can learn anything from the little lab rats.
See, and that's the stupid part, though. Like, I don't think I'm smarter than most animals. The average bear, maybe. But that's about it. Fran, I mean, there's a cat next door, and all I want to do is be able to tell him shut the fuck up in his own language. Fran.
Well,
they've got AI apps for that now.
Because, like, this cat sits there and he cries. He's not hurt. He just walks around crying. He's the most depressed cat I've ever met. Fran, and normally cats aren't depressed, they're angry. Fran, but this thing, like, he's just crying as loud as he can to get attention. He doesn't even belong to the neighbors. He just goes over there to cry. Fran.
Yeah, he does. But, you know, I have a very differentiating opinion than most people as far as the animal kingdom comes, and I would love to be able to communicate with a lot of people in the or a lot of animals in the animal kingdom.
There you go.
Yeah, I think that honestly,
Can we just pause for a minute?
What?
Fran, you have a very differentiating opinion on how the animal kingdom comes.
Okay, cool. No, I was.
Is that where she was going? You know it.
Yeah, but you saw it too.
Yeah, I did, but I was like, nope, ignore it.
So are you guys saying you saw it coming?
Oh.
No, I told you I'm not smarter than most animals.
Okay. No, but I mean, I really would like to communicate with them, and I think that a lot of animal species are in a lot of ways smarter than most human beings are.
Well,
I'm going to tell you something. It's not going to go well then. Oh, dear. When I was ET hybrid pregnant, I've had 2 hybrid babies who have looked at dogs and go, Those are stupid animals. And I'm like, excuse me? What the hell did you just say?
They're not wrong.
And, well, there are dogs that are extremely smart. Like the Malinois, and God, there's a number. Anyways,
Yeah, but your typical house
Um,
dog is kind of a dumbass.
and so, I mean, that I was just very frustrated by that. I was like, okay, we need to get me around some wild animals or around some cats or so that you have a different. Nah, all dogs are stupid. I'm like, okay, I'm calling out some bullshit here. Well, that's what we think. And I'm like, no, that's not right.
it kind of
You
is,
got to
Nikki.
recognize they are companions.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing. What is their main moniker when it comes to humans? Man's best friend. Right? They are known
Oh, I think
so
it's
well as man's best friend.
What is that for?
So, what is the definition of a friend in slang terms? Someone you call for bail money. What is the definition of a best friend? Someone you can't call for bail money because they're sitting beside you. Friend, they are just as dumb as we are.
Now,
Oh, man.
And if you haven't noticed, the smartest, like what are considered are the smartest breeds of dogs, are the ones we consider the most violent against us.
yeah, well. So, okay, I have a hypothetical question for you guys here, then. So, if
Do we have anybody
you
in
had-
chat?
No.
So, if you had
Okay.
the ability to speak with any one species of animal, okay, what would it be?
Horse. Oh, no. Dolphin or whale. Mhm.
A whale or a dolphin? You don't
Horses
know,
have
do you,
pretty
Cole?
high. Horses have pretty high frequency, but whales, dolphins, man, they are the ancient ones.
So
And
here's
then I'd like to talk to octopus. Oh, they're pretty intelligent.
I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I don't have long enough
And?
life left in my life to wait for a whale to give an answer because, I've seen Finding Nemo. They talk slow. I can't handle that.
No, they don't.
Friend,
I know somebody that talks to them. No, they don't.
friend,
Telepathic
the
communication.
problem is, the hardest part about this is, what question do I want answered?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. I have questions for many animals.
Mm-hmm.
The lemming. Why the fuck you jumping off the cliff, dude? What's the hell? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Friend.
Oh, the lemmings. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I want to know
That
what
is
the
not
hell.
what
Like,
I thought you said.
friend. Why? Friend.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Pigs.
It would be a pig.
Probably.
In space.
Friend.
Sorry. 12-year-old popped into my head.
And that's mostly so I
When
can
heard
share
that.
some knowledge
Yeah.
and tell them, hey, there's good food here above the ground, right? Like, friend,
Okay. So you would talk to a pig.
Yeah, snails.
introduce some Cheerios to them.
If you could talk to any animal species, it would be a pig. That's kind of cool.
Friend, yeah.
I've
A
talked to
little
pigs.
different.
Also because they are considered to be some of the closest to us genetically.
Yeah.
Friend, it's got to be something to that.
Yeah.
Caught the pig when I was in Tonga.
Hmm.
It was one of the reasons, because I did it so openly. It was when my mom and my great aunt started telling the villagers, yeah, we call her our little Miss Dr. Doolittle because she can talk to the animals.
I
did too.
I would have to say,
Pigs were prevalent.
I would
in
like
Tonga, so
to talk to bees. Bees would be cool, but bees aren't really animals. They're more of an insectoid. So I would have to say that this one's really weird, and it's gonna be like, because you're gonna be like, what the fuck, Kayla? You get freaked out every time you're around anything like that. But I think it would be a rodent. It would be a rodent that I'd want to talk to. If I could talk to any animal, I think it would probably be like a mouse or a rat.
Okay, number one, I got to say, I do talk to bees. And they understand.
Get out of the house.
Yes, and they understand.
Okay, I'm out.
Because they do leave if you tell them to.
Yeah.
I need to change my answer also.
not the meat eaters.
Spiders.
Spiders?
I've done that.
Talk to a spider?
Bees,
I need to talk to
Yep.
spiders.
I do.
Friend. Yeah, like they're... Friend.
Well, then that's what I said. Like,
And it's actually like something I enjoy doing, actually, I guess. Because, like, if I see a honeybee that's searching on our porch for whatever, I look at him, I tell him, hey, you're not going to find anything here. We don't have any flowers right now. You need to go behind the house. If you go on the other side, there's dandelions everywhere. And they leave. Like, it does work. Friend.
but yeah, no. It would be rat.
Well, I'm going to tell you about a spider experience I had. So I was living at the other apartment. I actually had at the house. We had a girlfriend of mine told me later, and it just really freaked me out. So we had a spider that was larger than my hand in our basement, and I kind of lost my ever-loving over it, to say the very least. And that little bastard charged at me, and I went, "No, you don't. Here's my broom, and there you go. You won't get squashed." And it wasn't until after that my girlfriend had said, "Nikki, even though you got rid of one, when they're that size, they have a spouse, they have a partner." And I went, "What?" And she had talked to an entomology professor at the UW because they were trying to figure out something a number of years prior. And she goes, "Yeah, that's what the entomology guy told me." And I was like, "Oh." Sure enough, my son came across its partner the following week. And yeah, it was much bigger. And we think that was the male. That I had killed the female, and he went after and ended up killing the male spider. And it was bigger than my son's hand. And when it curled up and died, I've never seen a spider so big. Until we got to talking to Robert, and they've got huntsman spiders that are bigger than dinner plates there.
Mm-hmm.
But after this incident, when I moved into the other apartment, it was probably 2-3 years before I started talking to the spiders. And I was like, "Look, I'll leave you alone. You go after what little flying things are around. But you come near my bed, you're getting slaughtered. Never had a problem. Until I woke up with one right next to my pillow. And what did I say to you? And it went flying, needless to say, because that was my instantaneous. I was like, what the hell did I tell you? And it went flying across the room. And the next time I saw it, I said, I told you, you ever come onto my bed, you're dead. And he was. And it was interesting because apparently there was another spider around. I didn't have any problem with it. Not. And I've never had problems since. Because I flat out tell them, I'm like, look, you stay away from me, my bed, my family. You're fine. I have no problem with you here. You go after the little things I can't see or, go for it. But leave me and my family alone. No bites, no middle of the night feedings or anything like that. Because they will do that. I mean, years ago, we caught spiders doing that. And I don't remember them shit because as a parent, that's kind of a big deal. So, you can talk to insects, and depending upon your own energy and your own frequency, I have a choice to believe that they pay attention to that frequency.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not so much the words, but it's the frequency. And I know that bees do that. I had two ladies that used to call me the bee whisperer, because I used to be able to walk into a nest of bees, and they'd buzz around me, and they'd be standing in the living room, with the door closed, and I'm like, what is the problem? This is not a big deal. And they're like, yes, it is. You don't have any idea. And I didn't. I really didn't. I didn't grasp the concept why they couldn't be up. And it's about frequency, and it's about energy, and it's how you choose to believe if they're a nuisance or if they're just trying to survive or what. And different ballgame when you're dealing with wasps. I mean, I will go up and walk up the wasps, or a wasp nest, and I've been known to do that, take care of wasp nests for people, but they're a little on the aggressive side, and they're not like a honeybee or an in-ground bee or hell, even the meat eater bees. That's difficult. I didn't even know there were meat eater bees until I don't know if they knew babbling. But anyway, so I had my back door open, didn't have a screen door on my kitchen door at the time, and was browning up ground meat, and I had two yellow jackets come in, grab the hot meat right out of the pan. God, I freaked out. And they dropped the meat on the porch, and I'm surprised they even made it that far. Anyway, and then went back for it, and I'm just like, this is nuts. I've never seen anything like that. And it was after that we had to start keeping this is when my kid was real young. Had to start keeping the door closed, the kitchen door closed, because you'd get these gigantic yellow jackets, and they were meat eaters. It just amazes me. So some yellow jackets, they don't just sting, they will actually bite. They'll take a chunk out of you.
Yeah.
And I know that because I've witnessed it. I've witnessed it on both me and my son. And it's much more painful than just getting the typical sting.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've gotten bit a few times.
I talk to my plants all the
that makes-
time. I
Yeah,
don't
it's a
really talk to animals too much.
frequency.
I might occasionally say something like, "Hey, get out of the house," or "What are you doing in here?" Just as like a thing. But I talk to my plants all the time. Like, I'm that weirdo that'll be sitting over there being like, "Hey, little cactus, how you doing today?"
Yeah, but you're
Like-
too nice to them.
You gotta be nice to plants. They can
No.
sense that.
Do you?
energy.
They sense
Yes.
the energy that you're putting into them. That's
Yep.
what keeps them alive and growing.
So I'm a
properly.
complete asshole to my plum tree. You're really nice to your apple tree. How many apples did you get last year?
Well, yeah, but you scared your plant.
How many apples did you get last year?
I didn't get any. Mine is a second-year tree.
You got one. You got one apple.
Well, yeah.
How many plums did we have?
Oh God, it was overloaded with plums. But no, you scared your plum tree into producing.
Damn rights.
You told it if it didn't produce any more plums this year, then you were going to cut it down, and it overproduced plums.
Not a nice thing to do.
I
They've
did-
got
I
a
didn't-
frequency and they can communicate.
I didn't say I
Oh.
was going to cut him down. I kicked him. And he gave me plums.
That's not nice. You be nice.
It was very nice because I got a whole bunch of plums. Everybody
mean,
else
like-
can starve.
No, they did that.
But no, I'll talk to my plants all the time. I'm a plant person. I got my little inside garden going, and I'll just like chill with my cactuses. And
You might want to have a few more conversations with the rhubarb this year, just saying.
I know, I put him outside. Like rhubarb guy.
We haven't had one
Rhubarb
actually grow
is
successfully
great for
yet
fun.
at this house.
No, it's actually really weird because I'm actually pretty damn good at growing things. Like, I don't
Cryptids to plants.
typically have a problem with my plants producing, and I don't have a problem with them duplicating or anything like that. Like, usually they're very healthy. But, for some reason, and I'm like, I just don't understand. Because everywhere else that we've ever lived, I've had rhubarb grow like weeds. Just tons of rhubarb. And here,
Okay, so
like,
what kind of soil does rhubarb like?
that's the thing, is I've tried 5 different types of soil. Like, I've done everything I can to make sure that it's getting the nutrients that it needs, everything else. And for some damn reason, I cannot get rhubarb to grow here. Which is super weird because everybody else's rhubarb's doing perfectly fine. And I'm like, you know, and so I tried potting it. I tried natural grow. I've tried different soils. I've tried different nutrients. I've checked pH levels, like everything. And I cannot get rhubarb to grow here. Everything else is fine. But damn rhubarb
Not
won't.
even in a container?
Not even in a container. It's like all of a sudden rhubarb decided it hates me, and it's just not gonna happen for me.
Don't forget that one time you tried the blood ritual.
Yeah.
That didn't work either.
Did you accidentally cut your finger from clipping?
No, she
Weeds or
did
something?
chanting and everything. It was very southern.
Oh, whatever. Jesus. No, but, like, yeah. So, I don't know what it is, because I can grow stuff that we're not supposed to grow here, but I can't grow something that should be growing like a damn weed. So,
Yeah, my grandmother used to grow it. It was incredible.
Well, and the weird part is we're getting new plants at like June's house that never grew before.
that's because I started working in her garden.
No. The ones that are dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Horsehair?
Like, horsetail.
Horsetail.
And, like, different things like that. Yeah.
And it acts like natural bamboo where it spreads like crazy.
Yeah, we've had a lot of invasive species show up that aren't typically here. I've noticed that, too. And I think it has a lot to do with the rain amounts, the different amounts of sun. Like, our area is changing as far as, and back to weather patterns, our area is changing. Like, we never, ever had summers. Like, I've grown up in Washington. Ever since I was a baby, I've been in Washington. minus the years that I spent with you in Canada. Eh?
What about all the years you spent on the ship?
Shut up.
Okay.
But but other than that, I mean, it's been Washington for pretty much my entire life, minus a couple of years in Canada. And when I was young, the hottest it ever got was like 80 degrees, and that was insane for it to get to like 80 degrees. Like 80 degrees was hot for Washington. Well, this part of Washington. Let's not get that wrong. Over the mountains, it definitely gets to different temperatures over there. But in this little area of Washington that I've lived my entire life, like 85 was like, you're dying, you're toasting, because we just never hit those numbers. And how many years now have we hit triple freaking digits? We're hitting those numbers in spring now.
Yeah, which should not be happening.
Like, we hit 110 degrees in this area of Washington last summer and the summer before, which is ridiculously unheard of for our area.
Yeah.
Like, that type of temperatures here should not be happening.
Well, then they're screwing with the weather patterns on top of it. So
well, and
you add that into the mix.
And like Cole was saying, like up in Canada, how he said like it can be like 80 degrees one day and the next day it can be snowing. And
No, not snowing. Blizzarding.
Yes.
Like, I'm not kidding. It is like -10 and the snow is falling up.
Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I've seen people post that stuff.
That is what's strange to me, is we used to have very defined seasons. Just in this area, we had very defined seasons. It was, this is spring, this is summer, this is winter, this is fall. Like, all of these seasons had their time period, and you expected this to happen during this season. And every once in a very, very great while, you might have a day that was a little bit outstandish, but only by 5 degrees up or down. It wasn't by 30 degrees. And, like, going into, right now we're in April, going into May, like, and we've already had how many days of 80 plus?
Now, I had a thought about that, though, too. Most of our weather, we believe as humans, comes from the sky.
No, that's not.
You do.
Friend, here's the thing. What if it doesn't...
anymore.
What if what is happening underground affects our weather more than we think? More than scientists have realized.
No, that's an interesting
Kayla and Nikki,
process.
when was the last major earthquake here?
In Washington?
Oh.
Yeah.
Nisqually?
6.8 on my birthday, February 2002.
2002. It should have been. Yeah.
When did the weather start shifting?
Actually, the weather majorly started shifting after the earthquake in Japan. The one that caused the tsunami at Fukushima. And...
Really? Because your mom and your aunt state that after the early 2000s it started to get a little weird, and then it really started amping up.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was when...
The major shift happened.
No, but that's the same time period that I'm talking about, yes.
No.
2003,
I was here for Japan.
2003, 2004, because, and the reason why I'm saying those years, because in 2002, my step-grandmother died. In 2003, my grandfather died. And in 2000, it was 2003. It was before Mother's Day of 2003, and um,
Oh, hold on. We just lost Nikki. Friend.
I'm sorry, I got those dates mixed up. It was in 2004 that the Indian Ocean earthquake
there we go.
happened.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
So, 2004 was when the Indian Ocean earthquake happened.
Yes.
It was 2011 that the
There, I was about to say, I was here.
Yeah.
Friend. So, but here's the thing.
I got the places
What
mixed
if
up.
our
Sorry.
major weather shifts are also caused by tectonic plate shifts?
Well, they are to some degree. Like
No, I mean a major degree.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You talking frequency or
No
specific
actual
kind of energy or
actual shifts in the tectonic plates and what areas are open in between the plates.
well, okay. So if
causing different areas. So it would be frequency because it will change the frequency of the entire geographical area.
yes, but you got to understand the
Interesting.
earthquakes, though. Okay, so when a shift happens to cause a major earthquake, it's either a fault line bumping up, or it's a fault line slamming into another fault line, right? Like, there's reasons behind that. But the fault lines, so we're just like little shifty areas on those fault lines of floating around on the mantle. Okay? So every time we have something like that happen, it releases certain chemicals and stuff into the ocean, into the air, into everything. So yes, of course it would be causing different things, because we can have, like, okay, so if humans didn't exist on this planet, we didn't have carbon, we didn't have all of the chemicals that we're pumping into the air, everything else, okay, we would still have global warming. It's just like all the other planets, when they have massive volcanoes erupt or anything like that, it causes global warming. It causes greenhousing effects naturally. Okay? So, every time that those plates are shifting and moving and everything else, well, it's opening up parts of the mantle to different parts of the ocean, to different parts of the land that weren't before, and it's putting different things, different chemicals, and that kind of stuff into the atmosphere, which is going to cause differentiation weather. It's at a slower pace than, like, us pumping a whole bunch of shit into the air. But eventually, it does its own greenhousing effect. And if we go back through history, it's done it before we existed as a species on this planet.
But the part you're forgetting about the tectonic plate we are on,
Yeah.
or we are beside, I guess.
Cascadia?
No,
Or...
that's the subduction zone.
Well,
The tectonic plate is the Pacific.
yeah, the Pacific
The Pacific plate.
Yeah. Sorry.
What direction is it going?
I don't fucking know.
Clockwise. It's
Okay.
the only one going in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
That's why this is called the Ring of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
Friend, every time it shifts at all, it opens up
Something.
new tubes.
Yeah. Which cause lava flow, which
Or
cause
old
all
tubes.
kinds of other stuff. I mean, it can be as simple as, like if you think about the fact that how many earthquakes have we had at Yellowstone? Minor, but still, how many have we had? Okay? Not only that, but like that geyser that freaking exploded a couple of years ago that wasn't supposed to have at that point.
But what changes
Hey.
the humidity of an area?
Oh, there's so many factors. that
Barometric
change
pressure,
humidity,
right?
But barometric pressure, yeah.
Okay, what changes
I'm
barometric
really
pressure?
sensitive. I'm really
Frequency.
sensitive to barometric.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
If you change, like every time we shift, our
Mhm.
frequency in this area changes because different tubes close and open.
mm-hmm. Well, if you think about, okay, so, and a lot of people don't, because they don't think of, like, okay, but if you think of the Earth as being a living being, okay?
That is a living being.
Yes, but there's a lot of people that won't say that. They'll say it's a rock.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly.
But if you think of it as being living, which everything is kind of living, okay? Because they all have lifespans. So there's a beginning, there's an end, there's a middle. Okay, so even if it
And
doesn't
there's a
have...
frequency in rock.
Exactly. So even if it doesn't have what we would think of as consciousness, it's still a living being because it's alive. Okay, because otherwise it would be dead or it wouldn't have been born yet. And
Think of it as the movie Avatar.
Right. And if you think about our Earth like that, then, I mean, everything is interconnected. And just like every other planet in our solar system, every other planet in the galaxy, every other planet in the universe, it's all interconnected. Every living thing is interconnected to every other living thing in some way, shape, or form. Because we all came from the same stuff. We're all part of the same puzzle. And
I've got that Pocahontas song running through my head.
right.
I
But
can't think of the name of the song, but I can hear like
if you think of
I can hear
that,
the music.
okay, then just like human beings can have bad weeks where they get a cold, or
Mhm.
they aren't feeling well, or their blood sugar's off, or whatever.
Or they need to burp.
So, yeah, or they just have bad
The earth
indigestion.
burps.
Okay? So does a planet. A planet can get sick. A planet can not feel well. A planet can have indigestion. It can get all of these things. It's a different form of it than like for a human body, but it still
Different form of energy. Yeah.
has that energy in there. So what do we do when we drink too much? We vomit. We don't feel well. We get a little queasy. We get a little dizzy. Things start going crazy. Okay? Well, think about how much over the years, not only humans, but like natural stuff in itself, have been poisoning this earth. So it's like the earth has finally had one too many shots. And now it's gonna puke. Like...
God help me, look out.
See,
But
here's
it's
I don't like your analogy.
No?
No,
Why? I thought it was great.
because the Earth isn't old enough to drink.
Okay, then think of it as a lead poisoning for a kid that accidentally ate a chip.
Nope.
Okay? Like...
The Earth is a teenager.
Uh-huh.
We are the acne.
Oh, good God, no.
Because you think about it, every time that we have, let's say, COVID, friend,
Movable acne.
Black Plague, all of the things that are meant to kill us. That's like it using acne cream, like Neutrogena.
Oh yeah, I've always thought of us more like lice.
Fred.
Your ad.
But no, but like that's why like I do have a lot of faith in humans being able to live for quite a long time on this planet. Frick. We lost Nikki again.
Yeah.
Friend. Because the Earth is 4 billion years old. We've been here for 12,000 years, according to our history.
Yeah.
Friend, don't look at me like that.
I'm gonna look at you like that because I'm not a believer in our current thought process of how old anything is.
Well, that's too bad because the thought process believes in you. Friend.
But yes, according to mainstream science, we have been around for that
12,000 years.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
If you follow the lifespan that it seems to be following, if it's a teenager, we have at least hundreds of millions of years left on this planet. Before we are finally, it enters into the adult stage, acne starts to go away, it learns not to eat chocolate. Like a freaking...
Oh, gee, then it gets to go through menopause. Oh,
Yeah.
isn't that going to be fun?
And that's when it kills off all the animals.
Okay, whoa.
Out of pure anger.
Whoa.
What?
Okay. But we're missing a part of this if this is the analogy that you're going with. Okay? And it's that,
Oh, there's a lot missing.
unfortunately, even if the Earth was a teenager, okay? Just like any other living thing, it is possible for something to happen to where its lifespan is significantly decreased.
Absolutely. A comet.
Okay, but the Earth didn't die, just the acme that was on it did.
Whoa. That was a small comet.
Yeah.
Friend. Like, but like, think about it, okay? We have quite a few years left on this planet. Friend, then it's going to find its 20s, be allowed to drink, which completely kills us the hell off, because it starts poisoning itself.
Okay.
Friend, then it gets into its adult years.
It's just calm and collective. It becomes Mars.
Yeah!
Just sits
Gets
there.
into its university days where it parties hardy.
Yeah. Has to pay off the student loans. Friend.
Okay, but really, like... So if...
Ouch.
It depends on what theory you go with here, too. But if Thea really did collide with young Earth, okay, to create Earth now, okay, and the moon, bloop, okay, then technically it's already been through that catastrophe that you're speaking of.
Not really. As toddlers and as young children, we go through a lot of catastrophes ourselves. Friend.
So you're saying it's just like a human, it just has amnesia of what happened when it was a baby?
Friend, well, no, but like we have...
I don't remember my birth.
we have skinned knees. Friend, we have broken bones. Friend, I mean...
Maybe you did.
Okay, not all of us are aliens. Calm down. Friend, not all of us have the bone density of a freaking Wolverine. Friend.
That's what.
Friend.
I got the bone density of Sasquatch here. Proven.
Kayla's filled with adamantium.
I don't even understand, like, it comes from, like, my mom's side, actually. But
If you tap her with a spoon, she clinks.
no, because, like, even John did, like, the density tests, right? And John has way denser bones than most people do. And mine are even
me
denser
too.
than John's are.
That's Sasquatch.
And let's say I have never even come close to breaking a bone, and I should have. I've done a lot of things where I really should have broken something, because that was a catastrophic fall. Or that was, like, falling down, like, 4 flights of fucking stairs and then off the side of the something. But I've never even come close to breaking a bone.
Which also tells me that Big Grocery has lied to us for years. Because I used to drink a gallon of milk every 2 days. As a kid?
Nikki Strong.
Yeah. Bullshit.
See,
Friend.
I never really drank milk.
See?
But calcium is good for bone density and all that jazz. But it's not
Maybe-
the only factor either. There
That's-
are people
it's
that
not.
are born
That's not
that
fair
way.
to blame all of Big Grocery. Sorry, Big Cow.
Oh my God. Kayla, how many of your kids have the thick bone density?
I have no idea. John's actually the only one that's ever been actually tested for bone density.
They're all pretty thick skulled though.
But none of my kids have ever broken a bone.
Okay, so okay. So I broke my first bone when I was 11 or 12. I was dancing and I went from carpet to linoleum and I went sliding and landed on my toe, broke my toe. Then it was the shoulder blade, broke the thing in half.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the tailbone. And so, yeah, it's, and it took great force on each one of these episodes, it took great force for those bones to break because I have fallen, I have done all sorts of things, and have had all sorts of different ouches, and nothing was ever broke until those three incidences. And the one that was the worst was the shoulder blade because that was where I very easily could have broken my neck. I mean, quite easily, very scarily, in fact. And so when you've got what I've learned from my bariatric place, when they did bone density stuff and testing, it was really fascinating. They said that, yeah, you can, the old adage of just
I'm just big boned.
big bones, yeah. That statement of being big boned, yeah, it actually is fact. And a lot of people think it's a joke. It's not. It's an actual fact.
No.
And we got to talking about it, and it's thought through the bariatric clinic because of my dad, his mom, my mom, me, and I believe likely my son have all got dense bones. When I was with the up there in whatever year it was, right? 2019, I think it's 2019, at least. The Sasquatch told me that I was one of their own. Now, I assumed that they were talking soul-wise, but now, after I heard this medical stuff, I was like, is it possible certain families have the
Like
dense
Sasquatch
bones?
DNA. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Well,
what I'm.
I
But
don't
in
know.
a weird, unusual way.
I don't
It's
know that it
something
would
I
be.
never really would have thought of before that.
So, for me, like, okay, my mother is, shit, almost 70, and she's never broken a single bone. And she did high impact, like, karate and stuff for years. So, my dad is, like, 4 years younger than my mom, and he's never broken a single bone. But the thing that's weird about that is, on my mom's side, nobody has. Like, and I mean, that's really weird to think about, but like, my grandparents never did.
You can't say that
Why?
because you don't actually know about your dad's dad.
I don't know about dad's side.
Oh,
I was
okay.
saying, I said on my mom's side.
Okay. I thought you said your
No,
dad's side.
on
too.
my mom's side, neither of my grandparents ever broke a bone, and none of my aunts and uncles ever broke a bone. They dislocated
cousin.
What, Aiden? Is that who you're talking about?
Well, him too. But
That's a totally different
no,
line, though.
but who was the girl? She broke her leg and died from it.
Oh, yes, but that is, again, the
Is another
Jolly
different
side.
line?
That's all red shirts. Sorry.
Star Trek reference.
No. Oh, that's too...
I'm sorry, that's horrible.
So, no, but that's all... that side of the family. And they're the only ones that side.
Yeah.
You've never seen anybody that's not on that side of the family come to reunion with the cast, have you?
Yes.
Who?
Friend, Uncle Carl. Friend, here's the thing. You guys don't break bones, you do crack them, though.
And we crack them occasionally, and...
At the joint.
But it always dislocates them. It doesn't break them. It dislocates or
Uncle
it cracks
Carl
at
cracked
the joint.
his joint
Yeah.
in half. Like, the end of the
That's
bone.
wicked.
And he had to get a knee replacement because of it.
Oh.
Friend, I remember being told that.
That's wicked.
Friend.
But he also had old army injuries that he'd been dealing with that knee for years from old army injuries.
But, like, my family kind of has the same thing.
You know,
It's me and Kenny.
that keep
That's
breaking.
it.
Everybody else is cool. You and Kenny just break like a twig.
Friend.
But no, I mean, we've had bone density. I've had bone density tests because I had to get bone density tests when I was going through certain medical issues because they have to check and make sure that you're getting enough of certain vitamins and stuff while you're going through that. And my bone density is ridiculous. It's like off the charts. And like when Cole says that I have like Wolverine bones,
Adamantium.
honestly, they are pretty much adamantium bones. Like, they're built like fucking concrete.
Friend.
Interesting thought.
Which is why I've always laughed, too, when they go by the BMIs, like the body mass indexes on people, to say that for your height, you should be X amount of pounds. For your height, for your age, for your sex, you should be like 120 pounds. Is like the optimal for you. And I'm like, dude, if I was 120 pounds, I would look so anorexic. And my bones would stick out everywhere. And it would look ridiculous on me to be that weight.
Yep. That's
And
what
I would
I've
be
been
in a
told on my
size like
husband.
extra
Not-
small too, because it would just be bones that was left.
Yep.
But the other thing that's really weird about like me, I guess, is I am very short for sure, but I have huge hands and bigger feet. Like, they are very disproportionately sized for how short I am. It's like hobbits.
My new
Well, mine
goal
are
weight
short
is
staff.
80 pounds.
You're gonna be 80 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
Friend, you guys remember the
For
movie?
your height?
You guys remember the movie Ants?
Oh, God, yeah.
You remember the general, like the big guy?
Mm-hmm.
Friend, that always looks so chiseled? I'm going to have his waist, but his shoulders. Because the shoulders will still be wide. Friend, this is going to be awesome.
See, now, I've always wondered, so like you were saying, you said that, you figured that there was some kind of relation or something back in history of a Sasquatch in your family.
I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it would have to be like really ancient, like
Mm-hmm.
really, really old.
are we talking
Because
interspecies erotica?
I don't know.
Relations? Like,
See, this is what's got me curious because there are families that had like what Kayla's talking about and what I'm talking about. And then there are families where, like, my step-grandmother was always thin. Now, I know why she was always thin. I get the psychological factor and all of that. But I remember her having some kind of, I remember her having some kind of, numerous different kinds of tests. And they were trying to figure out what was going on with her. And I remember her and my grandfather coming back from a doctor's appointment. We were to meet them at the house. And I remember Mom and I sitting in the living room, and we all had a conversation about what all was taking place. And she had some kind of bone density test, and it didn't run in her family. I mean, her bones were very thick. I remember that being in the conversation.
Can I
Now,
say something
granted,
quick?
she was by a marriage and not by a blood, but still, you think about that kind of
But
stuff. What?
Okay. Is this the grandma that was also an abductee?
No.
Okay.
Well,
'Cause-
I wonder if she was.
so here's
I'm
the thing.
not sure.
That's what I'm
Because
kind of
the
wondering.
two of them were married. My biological grandmother, yes, I do believe that she was an ET abductee. That runs in my mom's side of the family. So grandfather, his first wife. I wonder if his second wife was because he was. But I don't know. I don't have that knowledge. She never, from the other side, has never told me anything like that. And she was here not very long ago. She never said anything.
So here's
So,
the thing I'm wondering, though. Is it
she checks
possible
in periodically.
that it's not Sasquatch, but it's ET related for you? Like, is it
Well,
possible
that's
that
what I
it's
was-
not your natural physiology?
See, that's what I'm wondering.
But
what
That's
they've
the other.
done for you.
That's exactly what I was wondering. If it isn't Sasquatch, then is it ET? Oh,
Because here's
is
the,
it ET that has been strewn with the genetic lines, and that's
Well-
what they're
That's what's up with me.
watching?
Because yeah, here's the thing. Kayla has no Sasquatch relation.
Nope.
But
Well, in the grand scheme
we
of things,
believe her
neither
to be
do
an
I.
abductee.
Yeah, isn't that definitely an abductee? Both of you
So-
are, based on what you guys have been talking about.
Well, the
And
next
I don't
time it
mean
happens,
here
I'm
today.
going to have a sticky note attached to my chest saying, "What the fuck? Why everybody else getting thicker bones? I ain't getting shit. Other than a stroke." Like, come on. This is bullshit. I don't know, maybe I'm the control.
Well, it's a hell of a thought process, so when you start thinking about it.
Yeah, like it leads to an interesting thought of what are they doing to your guys' physiology that in all honesty is honestly helping you guys because you are not breaking bones. That is a huge advantage.
Yeah, but at the same time, there are a lot of other health factors for both your wife and for me.
Yeah.
So, and in the genetic line. So there are a lot of medically questionable. If that is the situation, then there are a lot of questionable things going on.
But it also makes me wonder
Within the
if it's
genetic.
not, because as humans, we've always believed that aliens in themselves are very selfish in what they do to us. That is the mainstream thought.
Grand scheme of things, yeah,
What if it's not?
amongst other things.
What if they're preparing certain genetic markers inside of us to prepare us for leaving?
Well, that's one thought. Another one is something that hit me really hard when I was during my live broadcast on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. What if we go back, we originate from a different planet, and that's where we were sourced, then seeded here? And this is just a thought. This is a running thought. But it's a hell of a thought process. And we're seated here, and they came back to get the genetics of the original ones who, and that's why they're going for the bloodlines. I was trying to think about why the hell would they really be going after bloodlines, and that's what hit my head. And I'm like, that's a really major mind bender.
Yeah.
To replenish to get the genetics that they need, to create the hybrids that they need to replenish
Their own numbers.
the numbers that are dwindling to near extinction levels. So, it's both of those thoughts. The Sasquatch or the ET genetics in different lines of families. I find this subject really fascinating, and I don't have the answers. But it's a hell of a thought process, isn't it? I mean, you get to thinking on that kind of stuff. It's like, holy Christ. And then you get into the factor of, like, what I religiously believe, and boy, have I got. I'm actually defending myself on many times, many weeks. It's on a daily basis. Defending my own religion as well as being an ETFP, because a lot of the public, it's either demons or fallen angels. It's all evil. It's all this. It's all that, and they don't have any comprehension of what's really taking place on these ships. And then the fact that I talk about that I'm a Christian and that I believe in God and that I believe in Jesus, and everybody's or not everybody, but a lot of people's attitude is that, well, if you just pray to Jesus, the abductions will stop. Well, that's a fallacy. There's very, very few types of ET who actually believe in Jesus and will stop an abduction. According to different people that I know that have experienced it, or had not very far past. Sorry, I had to figure out how to phrase that. And their abduction stopped because they had stated that they believe in Jesus and to get away from me and that kind of, there's just all kinds of phrases that could be said. But that's very few and very far between, and people do not comprehend
might not be the reason. That might be coincidence. I mean,
not according to the people who have experienced it, and not according to Archduke Andrews, who has talked to the ones to, somebody said to talk to them and that they don't want to go. That somebody needs that safe. So
I don't know, like, it just seems like
I'm fascinated though.
there's got to be some other. Not that there's got to be. There, like, that doesn't seem like a good enough reason with everything that we've learned from abductees for an
Yeah.
alien to stop.
Well, if they are religious in nature, and they have a belief system of Jesus, of God, then yeah, I can see them doing it.
Yeah,
Um,
but I don't think it's always the case. Like, I think some of them, it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
a rather good coincidence that they were able to say that, and something about their physiology or something about friend what the aliens were doing wasn't working, friend.
so there's so
And
many factors to it.
yeah, like, um,
But see, here's the
on you
thing:
having
people.
to defend yourself,
Mhm.
friend, I do want to read something to you that I found today, and it
What's
was
that?
written 14 days ago, because I want to explain this first.
Okay.
All week, like, it's been a busy as hell week for us, and I had no idea what we had said. We were talking about. And I totally spaced on what we had originally said we were going to talk about last week after the show. So
Oh, yeah,
I said,
that's
you know
why I
what?
wrote it down.
It's been a while. We haven't done a Reddit show in a while. So I started looking for Reddit stories today.
Mhm.
And I came across this. It's not someone looking for help. But I found this in Paranormal Sasquatch. Friend, so I want to read it to you because this is something that I think is the best parts of the paranormal. So it's from Gryphon66-PT2. And the title is, I wanted to apologize to some of you. At times I have been dismissive of some claims of the paranormal or supernatural in relation to Sasquatch. Mostly that I don't know what people mean when they use the term interdimensional. I have always tried to make sure that folks who are posting with a woo take on Bigfoot aren't mistreated or harassed. I also hate the term woo, but it's shorter. I have come to the realization over the last few years that everyone has the absolute right to believe as they wish, and I know that sometimes, whenever the topic comes up, you guys are treated like second-class citizens, and I don't like that. Therefore, I want to personally apologize if anything I've said over the years has made you feel less than. That wasn't my intention. I will work to be better in the future. Thanks.
Wow.
That is a really
That's-
good post.
Yes, it is. And it's
And
incredibly rare.
yeah, it is. But like, it's one of those ones that makes me proud to be involved with this community again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
It's also one
Yeah,
of those
I
posts
think
that we have to keep in our heart to remember that there's still good people out there, even though some people are.
Asshats.
assholes. I'll say it.
Ass butts. For
Yeah.
Not as good of awesome people.
yeah,
Yes.
friend. Like, I personally, like, I am one of those people who doesn't care what your beliefs are as long as your beliefs don't hurt other people. Friend, if your beliefs are just your beliefs, and friend, because all religion comes from belief. If you don't believe in it, it's, friend, it doesn't have you like, I don't know what I'm trying to say there, friend, but you know what I mean. Like, it just,
Yeah, I do.
friend,
There's something that I want to read, but I don't
you shouldn't have to fucking defend
think I
yourself.
can.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, and A
And-
lot of people, what I'm finding is that a lot of people don't have an understanding. And I've had more people say to me, I really appreciate what you're talking about. Well, I haven't had more people. I've had a number of people, but I've had more people be really derogatory, including a guy from this afternoon. And I will say that I am putting myself out there, and I'm doing that. I wouldn't normally have done that 8 years ago. It would have been something I would have just read, scrolled through, or stopped and read, and then scrolled through and just went, okay, whatever. Now I'm becoming an active participant in a number of different groups, and I'm learning, and I'm doing that. I'm putting myself out there because I want to see the reaction of people, but at the same time, I'm really freaking tired of the bullshit and the lies that I'm seeing in the outright, and it's belief systems that are based on lies, and that is what bugs the ever loving crap out of me. Because they think, a lot of people think that they know it all. I don't frickin' know it all, and I'm 58 frickin' years old and a lifelong ET abductee who only found out last year that the ETs took my mom while she was pregnant with me. I mean, that was a hell of a realization for me.
Yeah.
And then when I had my mother confirm it, I about lost my ever living shit over. So yeah, that was not so easy to learn and to find out. I don't have all the answers, but I have a lot of information. And if it can help people to understand what it's like being an ET abductee at the same time as being somebody who does believe in Jesus, somebody who does believe in God, and how all of that interplays. Now, I was never one to publicly talk about my religion or my faith or how I've gotten through things. But now it's important, for whatever reason, it's really important in me. On top of it, the other side, my family from the other side, I'm getting congratulations and kudos for talking about that, Nikki. I know how hard that is for you. Thank you for talking about it. Please keep talking about it. And then I'm getting, it's constant. It's every week, all the time that I'm getting the derogatory shit. The other side, whether it's my guides, my friends who are loved ones to me, who are family to me, or biological family members, will come in and they're saying, keep it up, keep talking, because this is a big deal and it's going to make a difference one way or another. It will make a difference. And I'm just like, it just boggles my mind.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of seeing the lies, the amount of lies and misinformation and deliberate agents who are going into, government agents going into these groups. And I can feel the energy on most of the agents that are, they got fake names going in some of these groups and representing themselves a specific way. And I usually get nailed by at least one, if not two of them, during the week. making some derogatory statement. And I'm like, oh, you're a government asshat.
Well,
All right, well, I'm just going to respond to you like I do with anybody else. Just ignore that you're a government asshat. So, because I don't call him out. I should, but I don't. But it's just, it's bizarre to me as to how much misinformation is out there and the belief systems that are so held tight, so strongly held tight to.
it's because we
And
crave answers.
yeah, we do.
And here's
And
the
I
thing.
understand that.
Nikki,
I'm one who
you
wants
stated
answers.
you don't have all the answers. I'm going to
No,
state
I
right
don't.
now, I have all the answers. If anybody wants me to answer a question, I'll answer the damn question. Here's the thing. I am not Costco. I do not give refunds. It does not come with a guarantee. It's not the right answer. I'll guarantee you that right fucking now. That's the only guarantee you're getting. But you will get an answer. Friends, that's it. Friend.
Oh, I'll give an answer. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, like, I have all the answers. They're just not the right ones. Friend.
Yeah, there you go.
Friend. With
Yeah.
that, ladies and gentlemen, friend, it
Oh,
is
dear
time
God,
for us to
really?
go. Right, yeah, it's
Oh my God, it
12:02.
is.
Friend.
Holy crap.
So, Nikki,
Wow.
where can we find Restore Belief?
Restore Belief with Nikki is on YouTube on Saturday nights at 11 p.m. Pacific time. I can also be found on Facebook, Nikki Jacobs. I was going to say NikkiJacobs.com. That's not right. Sorry. Facebook.com/Nikki, NIKKI .Jacobs, JACOBS.376. I'm also on Rumble and Instagram, and you got to check out. It's either Restore Belief with Nikki or Angels are capital letter R, capital letter L for life. Angels are life. One of the two. I'm on X. I'm never on there. I'm rarely, if ever, on Rumble, but I've got somebody posting stuff to Rumble. And, hopefully, I will have somebody posting to Spotify. So, which I think everybody's for. So that's where I can be found. It's getting.
Perfect. Friend, just so you know, Nikki, also, doyourresearch.com is available. I just checked.
I will write that down. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a few of them that I want.
Friend, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for us tonight. Join us every 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Nikki
Every
just
10
dropped
p.m.
again. Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Friend, I'm going to call back Nikki in. Hold on. Friend, she keeps leaving. Friend, she is having real technical issues. Yeah, join us here on YouTube every 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. What else?
Jeez, Nikki, where'd you go?
Yeah, this damn thing keeps cutting off. It's this section right here. Don't move it.
All right.
Friend.
So until next week. Oh, sorry.
Yep.
You were doing the Astro thing.
Yeah.
My bad.
Friend, you can find us on Spotify. You can find us on iHeartRadio. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Amazon Podcasts. You can find us on Google Podcasts. So anywhere you get your podcasts, make sure you check us out there as well. And you can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter and Instagram. Even though I don't really go on there anymore, but you can still find us there. So, friend, as always, thanks for joining us. Next week we are going to be doing a Reddit stories episode because it's been a while, and friend, there are a few people that need some help out there. So, friend, thank you everyone, and good night.
Bye.
Data transfer complete. System malfunction. Please evacuate immediately. Program terminated.
Son of a biscuit eater.